You wake up every morning thinking it's just another day. You look at your phone, maybe check the weather, maybe scroll through something useless, but what you don't realize is that the second your eyes open, you've already stepped onto the battlefield. Life doesn't care that you're tired. Life doesn't care that you need a break. The world doesn't stop because you feel overwhelmed. Every single sunrise is a declaration of war against your weakness, your doubts, your distractions, your comfort. Whether you acknowledge it or not, you're already a soldier in that war. The problem is, most people walk through life unarmed, unaware, and unprepared. You've got to understand something. Life doesn't reward the lazy. It doesn't hand success to those who wait patiently. It doesn't feel sorry for the man who's struggling. This world respects only one thing: effort. It bows down to no one, but it will kneel before the one who refuses to quit. Every single man you see winning today, every single person who made it to the two, they fought for it. They fought the same fear, the same fatigue, the same setbacks that you're facing right now. The difference is they didn't surrender. Every morning is a war zone. You wake up, and before you've even left your bed, the enemy is whispering in your ear, "Sleep 5 more minutes. You'll do it later. Take it easy today." That's the voice of weakness. That's the voice that wants to see you fail. And if you listen to it, you lose the battle before the day even begins. You think you're at war with the world, but the truth is, your biggest enemy lives inside your head. That lazy, comfortable version of yourself, that's who you're fighting. The battlefield isn't out there. It's right here in your decisions, in your habits, in your mindset. You think it's hard to work while others are sleeping. Good. It's supposed to be hard. You think it's unfair that success takes time, that nobody's helping you, that life keeps throwing problems your way. Perfect. That's how warriors are forged. No soldier ever became great by walking through peace. You become unbreakable only when you've been tested, pushed, and burned by life itself. You've got to treat every day like war, because that's exactly what it is. Every day, you're either winning or losing ground. You're either building something or watching it decay. You're either sharpening your mind or letting it rot. The man who understands this never relaxes in his mission. He knows that comfort is the first sign of defeat. The moment you start thinking you've earned rest, the moment you start saying, "I deserve to take it easy," that's when life hits you harder than ever. People love to talk about wanting success, wanting freedom, wanting respect. But how can you demand victory when you haven't even stepped onto the battlefield prepared to fight? You can't expect to win wars with the mindset of a civilian. You can't expect peace when you haven't earned power. Life is a ruthless opponent. It's relentless, unpredictable, and it hits without mercy. It doesn't negotiate. It doesn't care about your excuses. It respects only strength. You've got to start treating every challenge like an enemy you must defeat. Every problem that comes your way, every obstacle in your path, that's your training. That's your opportunity to prove you deserve to win. But most people don't see it that way. They run from difficulty. They hide from conflict. They pray for an easier life instead of becoming stronger. And that's why they lose. Because they don't understand that the world belongs to the fighters, not the complainers. Every successful man, every leader, every champion, they all share one thing in common. They saw life as war. They didn't wait for motivation. They didn't rely on luck. They trained their minds to be ready for chaos, to find order inside of pain. When things got tough, they didn't fold. They got sharper. They used every failure as ammunition. They used every doubt as fuel. They turned pain into progress. Life is not supposed to be peaceful. You're not supposed to feel safe all the time. You're supposed to be challenged, tested, and forced to evolve. The battlefield never ends, but that's the beauty of it. Every fight you survive makes you more dangerous. Every day you refuse to quit, you win another inch of ground. And that's what life is, a constant, daily battle for territory. The territory of your future, the territory of your mind, the territory of your legacy. You've got to wake up with the mindset that you're going to war. When you walk into your job, when you hit the gym, when you're working on your goals, you go in like a soldier. You go in knowing that weakness will try to attack, distractions will try to ambush you, and fear will try to pull you back. But you fight anyway. You fight because you refuse to die average. You fight because you know what's waiting if you don't regret. the most painful defeat of all. Life is a constant war. You're either preparing for battle or being destroyed by it. And if you don't recognize that, you'll live your whole life wondering why you never won. Because the truth is, only the warriors who keep fighting, who wake up ready to conquer, who never stop pushing forward, they're the ones who survive this war we call life. Weakness is a disease. It spreads quietly like poison in your blood, and before you even realize it, it controls every part of who you are. The modern world has made weakness look normal, even acceptable. Society has disguised it as comfort, as self-care, as taking it easy. They'll tell you it's fine to rest, fine to be average, fine to settle. But that's the biggest lie ever sold to humanity. Weakness doesn't comfort you, it kills you slowly. It robs you of your potential, it steals your confidence, and it convinces you that mediocrity is enough. And once you accept it, it spreads. You start losing small battles, then bigger ones, until one day, you wake up and realize you've lost the war against yourself. Every great downfall begins with a single moment of weakness. One skipped workout turns into a month of laziness. One missed opportunity turns into years of regret. One moment of hesitation becomes a lifetime of what-ifs. Weakness doesn't hit you all at once, it creeps in quietly, waiting for that moment when your guard is down. That's why strong men are rare today, because most people welcome weakness with open arms. They choose comfort over challenge, pleasure over progress, excuses over discipline. You can see it everywhere, people walking around defeated, complaining about their lives, blaming the world for their problems, but doing nothing to change it. They want success, but avoid the struggle. They want happiness, but refuse to earn it. They want to feel strong, but run from anything that tests them. Weakness has infected the mindset of an entire generation. It tells you that it's okay to quit, okay to be soft, okay to live without purpose. And every time you agree, you become weaker. The truth is, pain is not your enemy, weakness is. Pain is the teacher. Pain builds you. Pain shapes warriors. But weakness tells you pain is bad, that struggle is unfair, that you deserve to relax. That's the disease talking. And if you keep listening, it will drain every ounce of strength you have until nothing remains. Look at any man who has achieved greatness. He's been through suffering most people can't imagine. He didn't get there by avoiding discomfort. He got there by embracing it, because deep down he knew that every ounce of pain was curing him of weakness. Weakness feeds on excuses. Every time you say, "I'll do it tomorrow," "I'm too tired," "It's not the right time," you're giving it power. And the worst part, the more you feed it, the harder it becomes to kill. It starts to dominate your habits, your confidence, your relationships, even the way you think. It whispers that you're not good enough, that you'll never make it, that it's better to stay safe. And most people believe it. They spend their lives running from fear, not realizing that fear was meant to be conquered, not avoided. The cure to weakness is simple discipline and struggle. Every time you push yourself when you don't feel like it, you kill a piece of weakness. Every time you choose to do the hard thing instead of the easy one, you take back control. Discipline is not punishment. It's medicine. It's the antidote to mediocrity. When you force yourself to get up early, when you train your body, when you study, when you grind, you're not just working, you're rebuilding your mental armor. You're reminding yourself that you are in control, that no matter how tough it gets, you can still fight back. The reason so many people fail is because they keep negotiating with their weakness. They say things like, "I'll start next week," or "I'll try later." You don't negotiate with poison. You remove it from your life completely. Weakness doesn't respond to kindness, it only understands dominance. You have to look at the weakest parts of yourself, the laziness, the fear, the doubt, and destroy them without hesitation. Because if you don't, they'll destroy you first. Weakness will disguise itself as your friend. It'll tell you that you've done enough for today, that you deserve rest, that you're working harder than others. It will make you comfortable with being average. But the truth is, average men never change the world. Average men never inspire anyone. Average men die forgotten. And that's what weakness wants for you, to fade away quietly without ever reaching your full potential. When you look at strong people, truly strong people, you'll notice something. They aren't fearless. They aren't immune to failure. They simply refuse to let weakness win. They've built a mindset so solid that no excuse can break it. They've suffered, but instead of running from it, they used it. Because every time life tested them, they responded with power, not pity. That's what separates warriors from victims. Warriors fight weakness every single day. You can't build strength without struggle. You can't build discipline without discomfort. And you can't build greatness while protecting your weakness. Every time you step into discomfort, every time you face your fears, every time you do what others won't, you're winning the battle against the disease that ruins most lives. Weakness doesn't disappear on its own. You have to kill it through action, through pain, through consistent effort. The cure is in the grind, in the sweat, in the moments when quitting feels easy but you don't. Weakness is a disease that feeds on comfort, and if you let it grow, it will consume you completely. The only way to survive in this world, the only way to truly live with purpose and power, is to become immune to it through relentless discipline and the willingness to do what 99% of people refuse to do. Every war begins in the mind. Before a single action, before a single step, before a single victory or defeat, it all happens here, inside your head. Your thoughts are the generals that command your life. If they're weak, undisciplined, and chaotic, you lose before the battle even starts. Most people don't understand that their mind is their greatest weapon or their greatest enemy. They go through life thinking failure happens because of bad luck, bad timing, bad circumstances. No, failure happens because you lost the mental war first. You accepted defeat long before reality ever showed up to confirm it. When you wake up in the morning and your mind says, "Stay in bed," that's a battle. When your body tells you it's too tired to train, that's a battle. When you're working on your goals and the voice in your head says, "It's not working, give up," that's a battle. Every single day, you're being attacked by your own thoughts. The difference between winners and losers is simple: winners fight back. They don't negotiate with weakness. They don't entertain the idea of quitting. They train their mind to obey, not complain. Your mind is a battlefield where comfort and discipline are constantly at war. Comfort wants to keep you safe, warm, and average. Discipline wants to push you through pain toward greatness. And whichever one you feed more will dominate your life. The average man loses the mental war every day. He listens to his emotions, follows his impulses, and justifies his excuses. He thinks he's being smart by listening to himself. But in reality, he's listening to the enemy. Because that weak voice in your head doesn't want to see you win, it wants to see you stop trying. Control your mind, or your mind will control you. That's the reality. When you can't control your thoughts, you become a slave to them. You start reacting instead of acting. You get angry for no reason, jealous without logic, lazy without guilt. Your emotions start running the show, and that's when your life begins to fall apart. A man who can't control his mind can't control anything. His energy is wasted on overthinking, worrying, and doubting himself. He builds excuses instead of empires. The mind is a weapon, but like any weapon, it can destroy you if you don't know how to use it. You have to sharpen it every single day. You sharpen it with discipline, with routine, with mental resilience. You train it to stay calm under pressure, focused under chaos, and unstoppable under pain. That's how warriors think. They don't let their emotions dictate their actions. They feel fear and still move forward. They feel exhaustion and still keep pushing. They feel doubt, but never surrender to it. People think mental strength is something you're born with. It's not. It's built through repetition, through choosing the harder path again and again until it becomes normal. Every time you reject comfort, every time you force yourself to do what you don't want to do, you're building mental armor. And that armor will protect you when life starts hitting harder, because it will. Life doesn't care how motivated you feel. It will throw pain, failure, and chaos your way. The question is, will your mind be strong enough to handle it? If you don't control your thoughts, they'll eat you alive. Your mind will become a breeding ground for fear and insecurity. You'll overthink everything. You'll compare yourself to others. You'll talk yourself out of opportunities. You'll sabotage your own success because your inner dialogue is filled with doubt and negativity. That's why you have to discipline your mind the same way you discipline your body. Feed it with strength. Starve it of weakness. Stop letting your emotions make decisions for you. You have to become the commander of your thoughts. When fear speaks, silence it. When doubt appears, Replace it with proof of what you've already overcome. When laziness shows up, remind it that comfort has never built anything worth having. Your mind must serve you, not rule you. It must become your tool, your ally, your fortress. Because when your mind is strong, nothing external can shake you. Think about it. Every great achievement, every massive success, every comeback story started with a mindset. The decision to never quit. The decision to keep going when everyone else stopped. That's mental warfare. Champions don't have easier lives. They have stronger minds. While others complain, they adapt. While others panic, they stay calm. While others break under pressure, they grow stronger from it. That's why they win, because their mind is trained to see struggle as fuel, not failure. Most people spend their lives letting their thoughts control their destiny. They're ruled by fear, ruled by distraction, ruled by comfort. And then they wonder why nothing changes. You can't build an empire with a weak mindset. You can't become powerful if you can't win the war within. The greatest battle you'll ever fight is not against the world, it's against the version of yourself that wants to remain small, safe, and silent. When your mind tells you, I can't, that's when you must prove that you can. When it says, I'm tired, that's when you push harder. When it says, it's not worth it, that's when you remind yourself why you started. Every time you override that inner weakness, you win. Every time you discipline your thoughts, you're rewriting your future, because the man who has mastered his mind has already won half the war. Your thoughts are not facts. They are commands waiting for your approval. If you approve weakness, you live weak. If you approve fear, you live afraid. But if you approve strength, focus, and dominance, your life begins to reflect that power. You have to train your mind to obey success, not sabotage it. The world belongs to those who have conquered their minds, because once you do that, no circumstance, no failure, and no person can ever break you again. Time is the only enemy you can never defeat. You can fight fear, overcome pain, rebuild from failure, but you will never outrun time. It's the one opponent that's been winning since the beginning of existence. Every second that passes is gone forever, a soldier lost in the war of life. Yet most people act like they have an endless supply of it. They waste hours scrolling through nonsense, procrastinating, waiting for the perfect moment that never comes. Time doesn't stop for the lazy, it doesn't wait for the unmotivated, and it doesn't care if you're not ready. It keeps moving, and every second it moves, you either move with it or get left behind. The brutal truth is time is the most valuable currency you have, and it's also the most fragile. You can lose money and make it back. You can lose strength and rebuild it. But once you lose time, it's gone. You'll never get to relive today. You'll never have this exact hour again. And the scary part, you don't know how much time you actually have left. Everyone walks around like they have decades ahead, but death doesn't schedule appointments. You're not promised another sunrise, another chance, another year. The clock is always ticking, and it's not ticking in your favor. Every minute you waste is a step closer to regret. Regret is the shadow that follows those who underestimate time. You see it in the eyes of people who used to dream big but did nothing. They look back wishing they had started earlier, pushed harder, been more disciplined. But wishing doesn't buy back seconds. Time doesn't give refunds. It just keeps moving forward, dragging you with it. That's why the strong treat time like a weapon. They use it with precision. They don't waste it on nonsense. They understand that every minute matters because time is either your greatest ally or your deadliest enemy. People talk about patience, but they confuse it with procrastination. Patience means staying calm while you work relentlessly toward something real. Procrastination means doing nothing and pretending it's strategy. There's a difference between waiting and wasting. You can't build greatness by waiting for time to bless you. You build greatness by making every second count. Every day you delay, someone else is getting sharper, stronger, richer, more disciplined. And by the time you decide to move, they're already miles ahead. The war against time isn't about stopping it, it's about maximizing it. Every day is a chance to fight for control. You can't control how fast time moves, but you can control how much you accomplish within it. That's where most people lose. They treat time like it's unlimited. They live like they have 1,000 tomorrows, so they waste today. They promise themselves they'll start next week, next month, next year. But time doesn't care about promises. It only respects action. You've got 24 hours, that's it. Everyone gets the same number, but how you use them defines the quality of your life. Some people use those hours to build empires. Others use them to scroll through distractions and wonder why they're stuck. Time doesn't favor anyone. It rewards discipline and punishes indecision. Every time you choose comfort over effort, you're losing time you'll never get back. And one day, you'll wake up realizing that while you were busy taking it easy, your dreams expired. People don't fear running out of time because they live in denial. They think they can postpone their goals, fix their lives later, start chasing success when they feel ready. But time doesn't care about your readiness. It's already counting down. You can't pause it. You can't rewind it. You can't negotiate with it. You either use it or lose it. And that's why winners are obsessed with urgency. They don't waste a second. They treat every moment like it's a weapon that can change everything. You must learn to see time as a battlefield. Every hour you waste is ground lost to the enemy. Every disciplined action you take is ground won. Every second you hesitate is an opening for regret to attack. The more you hesitate, the more you surrender. But the more you act, the more you dominate. Time is not your friend, it's your rival. But if you learn to fight it correctly, it becomes your greatest advantage. Because the one who masters his time masters his destiny. You have to look at your life and ask yourself, how many days have I thrown away? How many hours have I spent doing nothing that gets me closer to my goals? How many dreams have I buried under excuses like, I'll do it later? If that number scares you, good it should. Because every wasted moment is a piece of your life you'll never see again. The clock isn't your enemy, your ignorance of it is. The men who win in life understand the value of seconds. They schedule their goals, not their distractions. They treat each hour like it's gold because they know it's running out. They don't live for tomorrow, they dominate today. They live with intensity because they know that the war against time is constant, ruthless, and unforgiving. Every decision, every action, every moment matters. Time is not patient. It doesn't care about your feelings or your excuses. It doesn't slow down for anyone. The only thing you can do is fight harder, move faster, and live with purpose. You can't add more years to your life, but you can add more life to your years by using every second like it's your last. Because one day it will be. Isolation and pain, those are the real training grounds of warriors. The world will try to convince you that loneliness is a weakness. That pain means something is wrong. That struggle is a sign you're failing. But the truth is, isolation is where strength is born, and pain is the fire that forges it. Every great man you've ever admired has spent seasons of his life in silence, away from the noise, away from distractions, away from people who didn't understand him. Because that's where clarity lives. That's where growth happens. When there's no one left to clap for you, no one left to push you, and no one left to believe in you, that's when you discover what you're really made of. When you're alone, there's nowhere to hide. No masks, no pretending, no fake confidence. Just you raw, unfiltered, exposed. And that's where most people break. Because in isolation, the truth screams louder than ever. You start to hear every doubt, every insecurity, every weakness you've buried under distractions. That silence becomes deafening, and most can't handle it. They run from it. They drown it out with noise, with entertainment, with company that adds no value. But those who embrace it, those who sit with their pain instead of escaping it, they evolve. They transform into something unstoppable. You can't build mental toughness in comfort. You can't build self-respect when you're surrounded by people who don't challenge you. Isolation isn't punishment, it's preparation. The lonely nights, the long days, the moments when you feel forgotten, those are your training sessions. That's life seeing if you're serious or just pretending. Because when there's no audience, when nobody's watching, that's when discipline is real. Anybody can be motivated when the world is cheering, but it takes a different kind of animal to stay focused when the world goes silent. People avoid isolation because they're afraid of meeting themselves. They're afraid of what they'll find when all the distractions are stripped away. But the man who learns to face himself, who learns to live in his own silence, becomes dangerous. Because he no longer needs validation. He no longer depends on anyone to keep him moving. He becomes self-sufficient, self-driven, and unbreakable. When you train in solitude, you stop seeking permission to be great. You start realizing that everything you need, strength, vision, purpose, has been inside you the entire time. Pain is the same. Everyone wants strength, but nobody wants to suffer for it. Everyone wants confidence, but nobody wants to go through the rejection and failure that builds it. Pain is not your enemy, it's your instructor. It's teaching you lessons comfort never will. Every setback, every heartbreak, every loss, those are life's way of sculpting you into something sharper. You don't grow in pleasure. You grow in pressure. That's why pain is sacred. It strips you of weakness and replaces it with resilience. When life hits you, you have two choices: break or build. Most people break because they think pain means stop. But warriors know pain means go harder. Pain means you're on the edge of transformation. When it hurts, that's when you're leveling up. Because growth doesn't come with comfort, it comes with endurance. It's not supposed to feel easy. If it did, everyone would do it. But not everyone's built to fight through isolation. Not everyone's willing to bleed for something greater. That's what separates the average from the elite. Think about every night you felt alone, every moment you've doubted yourself, every situation where you wanted to quit, but didn't. That's proof you're stronger than you think. Those moments when no one believed in you, when you had to push yourself out of the darkness, when you had to be your own motivation, that's where warriors are made. Because greatness is not built in crowds, it's built in silence. When the lights go out and it's just you and your mission, that's when real progress happens. Most people don't understand that solitude is a weapon. When you're alone, you're free from noise, free from comparison, free from the distractions that pull you away from your purpose. That's when your thoughts become clear. That's when your goals become sharp. That's when your drive becomes pure. The more time you spend alone building yourself, the less you need the world's approval. You start walking differently, speaking differently, thinking differently because you've met yourself in the fire and you survived it. Pain humbles you. It teaches you who you really are. It breaks down your ego and rebuilds you stronger. It forces you to adapt, to evolve, to rise. Every tear, every sleepless night, every scar carries a lesson that comfort could never teach. That's why the most powerful men are the ones who've suffered the most. Because pain gives them depth. It gives them understanding. It gives them strength that can't be faked. When you embrace isolation and pain, you stop running from life and start mastering it. You stop asking, why me? And start saying, try me. Because now you understand that every hardship is shaping you into something the weak will never comprehend. You stop fearing being alone because you know that solitude is where real warriors train. You stop fearing pain because you know pain is where power is born. Isolation builds focus. Pain builds character. Together, they build dominance. When you've been through enough silence, enough struggle, enough suffering, nothing can shake you anymore. You stop chasing comfort because you've already found something greater: purpose. And once a man has purpose, solitude doesn't scare him and pain doesn't break him. Victory is not peace. It's preparation for the next battle. Most people think once they've won, the war is over. They reach one goal, make some money, achieve a little success, and suddenly they start relaxing, thinking they've made it. That's when they lose everything. Because victory doesn't mean you're done, it means you've just unlocked the next level of the fight. The higher you climb, the tougher the battles become. The enemies change. The pressure increases. The expectations rise. Success doesn't make life easier, it makes it harder. But that's what keeps the strong alive, knowing that peace is a lie, and only those who stay sharp survive. You see, the moment you start celebrating too early, life hits you harder. It's not just about winning once, it's about learning how to keep winning. The weak think they can pause after a victory. The strong understand that the real war begins the moment the applause fades. Because when you win, you attract enemies' envy, ego, laziness, comfort. Those are the silent killers that destroy more champions than failure ever could. Failure builds character, but success tests it. That's why most people can't handle victory. They're not built for the pressure that comes with it. The truth is, victory exposes you. It shows who you really are when the fight seems over. Some people stop training, stop working, stop growing. They think the crown on their head means the war is finished. But a crown isn't protection, it's a target. Every victory paints a bullseye on your back. Every success invites challenges you never saw coming. The same people who cheered for you will start waiting for you to fall. That's why warriors never stop preparing, because they know the moment you stop sharpening your sword, it begins to rust. Peace doesn't exist in the world of the relentless. You don't retire from the grind. You don't take breaks from dominance. You evolve, you adapt, you stay ready. The hunger that got you to the top must stay alive, or you'll lose it all. Comfort has destroyed more men than defeat. Because once a man gets comfortable, he stops being dangerous. He stops being disciplined. He stops fighting. And that's when the world takes everything back. You can't keep what you don't keep fighting for. Victory is not the end, it's the checkpoint. It's a signal that says, you've won this round, now get ready for the next. The greats understand this. That's why they're never satisfied. That's why the best athletes keep training even after championships. That's why the most successful entrepreneurs keep building after making millions. Because they know the war never ends. There's always another challenge, another level, another version of themselves they haven't conquered yet. The day you think you've made it is the day you start dying. Ego is the enemy of evolution. After success, ego whispers, "You're special now. You've done enough. You're better than them." That voice is poison. It's the same voice that kills ambition, that makes lions act like sheep. The moment you start believing you've arrived, you stop moving forward. You start living off your past instead of building your future. That's why true warriors remain humble, not because they're soft, but because they understand how fast power can disappear. The same energy that built your success must be used to maintain it. If you don't, time will take it from you. Every victory comes with a price maintenance. You can't just win once and expect it to last. You have to earn it over and over again. Every day is a new war, and every morning is a new battlefield. Yesterday's effort doesn't count today. Yesterday's victory doesn't guarantee tomorrow. The grind resets daily. That's what separates those who stay great from those who fade away. It's easy to get to the top once. It's hard to stay there, because staying there requires constant hunger, constant discipline, constant war against comfort. The world will try to make you soft after success. It will feed your ego, praise your wins, make you believe you're invincible. That's the trap. You start buying into your own hype, thinking you've escaped the struggle. But the truth is, the struggle never ends, it just changes form. When you were broke, the fight was for survival. When you win, the fight is to stay sharp. Both battles are brutal, just different. That's why real winners never let their fire die. They stay paranoid, alert, and dangerous, because they know peace is just an illusion. You can't relax in a world that's constantly testing you. The moment you let your guard down, the world takes its shot. The same discipline that built your success is the same discipline that protects it. You can't lose the hunger just because you've tasted a bit of victory. You've got to keep your blade sharp, your mindset ruthless, your focus locked. Because life doesn't reward those who rest, it rewards those who remain relentless. Every win should make you hungrier, not softer. Every victory should fuel your obsession to be better. Because if you stop improving, someone else out there who's hungrier, who's more desperate, who's training while you're relaxing, that person will take your spot. The battlefield never closes. It's always open, always active, always demanding more. That's why warriors keep fighting even after they've won. Because they understand that victory is temporary, but the war is eternal. The man who keeps winning is not the one who celebrates the longest, it's the one who stays ready for the next round. He knows that life doesn't slow down for anyone. He knows that success is not a destination, but a continuation. The moment you treat victory like a finish line, you've already started losing ground. Because life doesn't care about your past wins. It only cares about what you're doing right now. Every sunrise resets the score. Every day demands proof of who you are. And only those who stay battle, ready, mentally sharp, and hungry for more will keep standing when everyone else has surrendered. Life is not meant to be easy. It's meant to make you powerful. From the moment you wake up to the moment you rest, everything you face, pain, failure, rejection, success, loss, is shaping you into something greater. Life is not against you, it's testing you. It's a constant war where the weak seek comfort and the strong chase growth. Every battle, every setback, every disappointment is an opportunity to sharpen your mind, your discipline, your character. You were not born to live in peace. You were born to dominate chaos. You were born to take pain, mold it into strength, and use it as fuel to rise higher. Understand this life will never stop testing you. The moment you think you've escaped the fight, another challenge will appear. But instead of running from it, embrace it, because that's what keeps you alive. That's what keeps you sharp. That's what separates warriors from the ordinary. Every morning you wake up, you have two choices: surrender or stand up and fight again. And every time you fight, every time you refuse to quit, every time you push forward, when your body and mind scream to stop, you prove to life that you're unbreakable. The truth is, no one is coming to save you. No one will fight your battles for you. You must become your own weapon, your own armor, your own soldier. Life is war, and in war, you either adapt or perish. You either grow stronger or get crushed by your excuses. The moment you accept that reality, you stop being a victim and start being a warrior. You stop waiting for peace and start creating power. Because the man who embraces the fight, the man who thrives in the storm, the man who refuses to bow, that man cannot be defeated. So when the world turns against you, smile. When things get difficult, lean in. When everything falls apart, remind yourself this is the battlefield where legends are made. Every scar tells a story of survival. Every loss builds the foundation for victory. Life isn't supposed to be fair, it's supposed to be conquered. And the ones who understand that truth don't just survive, they dominate. Keep fighting. Keep evolving. Keep proving to yourself that no amount of pain can break your purpose. Because at the end of the day, life is a constant war, and the only ones who win are the ones who never stop fighting.